Hey, welcome back into today's video. It's a case of rinse, repeat, ready for today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather the next 8 to 10 days and the succession of low pressure systems and westerly, southwesterly winds have dominated weather since around early November goes on. It's going to carry on with this pattern up to Christmas, certainly. Probably going on beyond that in towards the new year even as well. So there's no sign of a break in the westerlies. It means it remains very unsettled with showers or longer spells of rain. Could be very wet at times in the north and west, and very, very mild as well. It looks like we are going to get that all-time December record mild temperature for England and Wales. Anyway, I'm not quite so sure about the UK-wide temperature because it's been significantly cooler over the past few days across Scotland, quite cold up there. So that may limit the UK wide temperature, but for England and Wales I think we will break the old Central England temperature record from I think 1934 and have the warmest December since 1659. I can't see anything in the output at the moment that would stop that from happening, so it'll be a very, very significant record to tumble and be smashed probably actually this month. So I'll have a little detail in a second. Before I get on with that, just to say about the ads. This articles on the page of Gas Service, have a browse widgets, click through links if there's any articles that you're interested in. Thanks so much for doing that. This video adds to most pages which open up in the content when you watch them. They'll close back up again. That's the page website, and you've still just about got time to get your Christmas shopping to you from Amazon. So you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon between now and Christmas. As I say, just about still got time to get those Christmas presents out to you. Just click through the Amazon banners in the Christmas shop, go to Amazon, do your Christmas shopping. Because you're going from Gas Service to Amazon, we get a revenue fee on the things that you're purchasing. Thanks very much for doing that. This evening there'll be a Christmas update. Now this video takes us up to Christmas Day. Day 10 is Christmas Day. But this evening we'll have a detailed look at the whole of the Christmas period. I think we'll probably finish around New Year's Eve at the moment with the GFS model. So we'll just about be covering the whole of the Christmas period tonight on the Christmas updates page in detail. That'll be around 7 o'clock. Around 5 o'clock I'll have Terry Scully, our longer range forecaster. I'll have his mid-December to mid-January forecast coming up for you as well. So keep checking back for all the updates. Right, let's get on with the video then. This video anyway, and well, very mild conditions again on the ensembles. These have a GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles. The red line here is the 30-year temperature average. Look how far above average we are at the moment. Dates on the bottom. We do get a bit of a cooler interlude as we go in towards the weekend, the start of next week. Only down closer to average. It's still milder than average overall. And then you see that things are taking off again as we go up towards the end of the year. This is more or less the end of 2015 just here. And you see that the overall trend is probably to go back upwards again with the temperatures as we go beyond Christmas. So as I say, I can't see anything that's going to stop us from breaking that Central England temperature record and have the warmest December since records began in 1659 for England and Wales. I'm less sure about what's going to happen for the UK-wide temperature covering Scotland because it has been a bit colder up there over recent days, but the England and Wales temperature is very, very likely to tumble away. Got some heavy rain coming up later on today. Then it goes a little bit drier actually for the rest of the working week into the weekend and the start of next week. The precipitation spikes are returning, so it's basically an Atlantic onslaught. We just settle things a little bit. Well, not settle things, but we break the westerly flow a little bit and get some slightly drier weather through the second half of this week and into the weekend. But overall, this is still a very Atlantic-dominated pattern, and there's more bands of rain coming through next week particularly. This is the temperature anomaly for the coming week. This is going from the 15th to the 23rd of December, and look how warm it is across the whole of Europe. So we've got Ireland and Portugal in the west, over to Russia in the east, and all parts in between looking significantly warmer than average, with temperature anomalies probably for most of Europe around, say, 4 to 8 degrees above average. Exceptionally mild and even call it warm conditions for the time of year across the whole of the European continent. So if you like cold weather, we're not suffering alone. So most parts of Europe are also suffering as well. The temperature anomaly looks like this, from the precipitation anomaly I should say looks like this from 15th to 23rd. It's drier than average in the south, so this is indicative of all the high pressure that's down to the south of the country through the Med. Not going to be too bad a period at all for going down and getting a late Mediterranean holiday, I don't think, leading up to Christmas. Going further north, it is wetter, so we're a little bit above average generally, with the rainfall near normal to above average, as is most of Northern Europe as well. The generic charts look like this. So on Saturday, we're bringing up another one of these long fetch southwesterlies. If you follow the isobars map, the air is originating from somewhere like Madeira, pushing up very exceptionally mild temperatures across the country, with more bands of rain in the north and the west. That carries on into Sunday. Turns a little bit cooler early next week. We saw that with the ensembles. There is a slight drop in temperature, still milder than average, just the air is coming from a little bit further north in the Atlantic as opposed to the tropical Atlantic, and it's still unsettled with weather fronts pushing through the country, bringing bands of rain. That goes on up to the middle part of next week, so this is Wednesday the 23rd, and still in this westerly flow, probably bringing another band of rain into the northwest of that. Could be quite heavy. And then through to Christmas Eve, we look like this, but actually a little bit of a break in westerlies, so could be a drier day on Christmas Eve. Little bit cooler as well. Christmas Day, this is how Christmas Day is looking. As I say, we'll have a detailed look at Christmas period tonight, but this is day 10, 25th of December. And look at this, another band of wet and windy weather is sweeping in off the Atlantic. Winds are from the south, so it's likely to be mild. East and West very similar. There's the long fetch southwesterly for Saturday. Very wet in the north and west. More rain pushing through on Sunday, turning a little bit cooler behind that. Sunshine and showers for Monday in a slightly cooler air mass. Back to another southwesterly with rain on Tuesday. Into Wednesday and on into Christmas Eve. We're continuing this unsettled phase of weather. There's more bands of rain coming in off the Atlantic for Christmas Eve with the ECMWF. And then Christmas Day looks like this, so maybe a little bit of a build of pressure down to the south. That could give England and Wales a drier day with showers likely for the north. Slightly colder there, so maybe a little bit of winteriness over the tops of the Scottish mountains. I think you have to go a long way up, though, to find that snow. As I say, there's no sign of a change or a fundamental change in the weather pattern. It's very westerly, very Atlantic dominated, very mild. The stratospheric temperatures are still looking very cold as well over the North Pole. So this is telling us that we've got a strong polar vortex, which is partly at least responsible for the strong westerlies that are coming across the Atlantic at the moment. So this grey line here is where we should be with the stratospheric temperatures at this time of year. It is just about the coldest that it gets in the year in the stratosphere, but the black line is where we are with those stratospheric temperatures, and we are very significantly colder than average. We're way below that grey line, so I've got a really cold stratosphere over North Pole at the moment, which will be driving the Arctic Oscillation positive, and that will be telling us that we've got strong westerlies, we've got a tight polar vortex keeping the cold basically locked in over the North Pole. There is cold, don't think there's no cold anywhere. There's a lot of cold, but it's locked in over the North Pole. It can't penetrate down into the mid-latitudes because we've got such a strong westerly zonal flow at the moment coming across the Atlantic into Europe. So that's one of the reasons anyway why it's so mild and unsettled. We're looking for a stratospheric warming event. We're looking to take this black line up to somewhere like here on this chart. All of a sudden, within 2 or 3 days, get a big sudden stratospheric warming. When that happens, it can propagate down into the troposphere, and that can then start to set up blocking over North Pole. And blocking is the route by which we push the cold out of the North Pole and into the mid-latitudes. Let's see if there's any sign of a stratospheric warming event over North Pole over the next couple of weeks. So this is the GFS from website meteosil.fr. So there's that really cold stratosphere over top of the pole that we've got at the moment with these blue and purple colours. If we run through, we'll see whether we get any warming or sudden stratospheric warming events. So we see I've got a little bit of a warming occurring around the Siberian side of the pole. The colours are going towards yellow there. We want to see reds appearing though, which is an intense rise in temperature, and we want to push that into the North Pole. This is a fairly minor warming that's occurring just around the edge, and it won't be enough to impact the polar vortex and that cold stratosphere. This is the extended part of the GFS, and you see that we're basically just keeping these warmer temperatures rolling around the edge of the pole. We're not penetrating those warmer temperatures into the top of the pole. We're keeping this cold stratosphere and strong polar vortex going up to New Year's Eve. So at this stage, there's no sign of a sudden stratospheric warming, which is one of the things that we need to try to break this pattern down that we're stuck in at the moment. So I think the Westerliez are going to continue basically up to Christmas, definitely, probably beyond Christmas to the new year. Whether we get this sudden stratospheric warming event in January, as we get further on into winter, it becomes more likely. So whether we get it into January, we may do, have to keep watching. But at the moment, Westerliez rule, and it remains very, very mild. That's it for now. We've got the Christmas update coming up this evening around 7 o'clock. 5 o'clock I'll have the mid-December to mid-January forecast from Terry. So a lot going on today. That's all for now, and thanks.